clerk and Attorney Carson in hopes that it could touch somebody's heart. But I don't know if you guys are divisive, but I'm not able to pull it up. But it's just a little girl saying, mommy and daddy, stop. I know you're here. Can you just come down a little bit? Can you just be a little bit nicer for me? And I love my mommy. I love my daddy. And it's very touching to see from a child's perspective what they feel like. Some people are listening to this knowing you don't get along with the other parent, and you're like, I don't care what she says. I'm not going to let him see my child or whatever, vice versa. And then there's another one of a little boy just saying, does daddy know I'm smart, mommy? Does daddy know I'm a good baseball player? But because the protectiveness sometimes takes the child out of the life of the father as well, then that child is sitting there broken, thinking that their dad doesn't want to be with them because there's something wrong with them. So all of that bothers me over the years, seeing how people can't find a way to just take a little step of peace. Just say, okay, we've had all these issues all year. Let's work on the betterment. You guys see the news every day. You see what's happening to young men, especially boys. It's heart-wrenching. Well, why do you think all that's happening? A lot of times it's a single mom doing the best she can, but then the gangs get involved. They're recruiting kids in elementary school. And so where you may think your kid's good to go and you're doing well, dad, and you're not in your child's life, maybe having a father figure will deter them from going into that abyss of a horrible life, being involved with unhealthy people. So that's just what I want to share with people. I'm really big on encouraging people to try to co-parent even with your differences. And if I touched anybody, I hope I did, because I just want things to be better for the child. Okay. All right. So Mr. Haygood, we're going to start with you in just a moment. You're under an order to pay $508 per month in child support. It looks like it's one child, and you haven't provided any support since February. You did provide support, and you were consistent in January of this year. February, you kind of made a double payment, made a partial payment in February, and then no payments have been received since then. So, and you did have an income deduction order, but now nothing's coming out. So if you can unmute for me, please, Mr. Haygood, and tell me what's going on, because this would be a basis for issuing a warrant if you don't get on track. Go ahead, please.
Yes, ma'am. I had an entrepreneur business that actually went under, and that's why since then, you haven't seen a payment. I have, Kennedy is one of 5, and I actually have another child on the way, and that doesn't have anything to do with why I have not been paying for her. But to me, the support payment is too high. I feel like if I actually go and apply for
hold on. Okay, let's talk about these. How many are you on child support for?
For 2. Well, I pay child support for 2. One is through Kennedy, and then it's actually court order, and the other one I pay child support for, but it's not court order. All the rest of them live with me.
They live with you? Are
Yes,
you are you remarried, or?
Yeah, I'm remarried. Yes, ma'am.
And how many children do you and your wife have?
We have the one that's coming. We make 4. The baby that's on the way. She'll be here in probably a week and a half.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds mean, and I don't mean to be mean, but you have all the children to support, and then you bring another child. You have the right, but I've got to hold your feet to the fire to take care of the child involved in this case, which is your daughter. So I understand the entrepreneurial spirit is big in Atlanta. I get it, but I always tell dad, you got to keep your day job. You got to get two jobs, night jobs, day jobs, and do whatever you need to do. And when your business starts being able to completely take over and pay for your bills, but because you've gone literally almost 7 months with no payments, you've got to turn this around quickly, or I have to issue a warrant. You can use a credit card to pay your child support. That's to avoid you going to jail. But if the amount needs to be modified, then you're going to have to contact child support. Having 4 additional children may make a difference, but you have to, if it's been over 3 years, you can ask for a reduction for your daughter. But this is not good that you would just think I'm not saying you think it's okay, but just, mom had to get to the point where she had to file because she's received no support. And again, that's important. You're helping take care of your children, your household. You've got to do the same thing for, is it Kennedy in this case? Yes. Yep. All right. So I need to know what the plan is, and we need to move fast. You need to move fast to turn things around. You've got to start paying for it. So
took training to become certified security officer. I actually had a contract that I was working on. The contract ended. I'm reached back out to the company that I worked for and basically told them that was an armed security post. I'm gonna tell them, hey, any unarmed post that comes open, go ahead and give it to me because I can't be picky or choosy right now. I have to have something that comes in. By having that come in, I can actually set it up to where the money automatically comes out of my check. So,
well, and that's commendable, but the point is that's going to take almost a month to get a new job, if you can get a new job, and then have the money coming out. So you need a short-term plan. Like, do you have the ability to make a payment on a child support, on a credit card until things get started? Because you need to pay a child support payment by the end of September. I have to at least have you pay half. You've got to pay, like, I always tell people you can break it into a weekly, payment if you need to. Sometimes that's easier for people. Like, okay, you can't afford to pay 500, but you could pay 100 a week for right now. Something that you can step up and do that's not going to break financially, your circumstance, but you have somebody that can help you. And Ms. Phillips is, I presume, independent and having to take care of your 11-year-old. So, and then you have another child coming. That's a choice you and your wife made, and I understand that. But you've got to provide the support for Kennedy. So, do you have anything that you can do to start paying some type of child support? Like, that's the only problem, because it's been 7 months. I can't wait 2 more months for you to get a job and start paying. And
no,
there's something more.
I can have something put together to where I can make a payment for a month. I can probably send $100 by Monday.
Okay, so, but what I need to see is substantial compliance. I mean, I understand you have a home and you have children, but the child support, I'm saying, I'm not reducing your child support, but I'm giving you a guide. If you could figure out how to pay $200 twice a month, or $100, or $100 a week, just to get started to paying until your job comes in, the burden's on you to make that happen, so I don't have to issue a warrant.
No, I can make it. I can actually contact the company to give me, like they said, they have contracts. There's permanent contracts, and they have something that's like temporary contracts. I can contact them to give me temporary stuff to where I can send in that payment so that it won't. I can show you that I'm sending in something until it comes in automatically. I can do that. I mean, all I need is time, because I want to be able to provide for her. I'm not willingly trying to not provide for her. I want to be able to provide for her, but I just lost my truck that I was working with, because like I said, my entrepreneur business, I lost my truck because I couldn't make payments. I lost where I live because I couldn't make payments. The church that I'm attending is actually giving me and my family a place to stay right now. So that's giving me, I don't have to pay $2,000 rent, and I have to have $600 car note. So now I can get a job, because I'm unemployed. I can get a job to where I can send in the child support payment, and I don't have all that burden over my head, like overhead with rent and overhead with truck note. So I can send that in and be able to get back on track. I do not want to not go another month without giving support to her, because she deserves it. Her mom deserves it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here in my notes, Dad is going to start making payments. I did make a note, that you have the other children as well, but you need to start making payments so I can show a good faith effort, so I don't have to issue a warrant. Like, if you can try to at least this month get in 300, I know that may be hard, but you have to figure out if a family member or a friend has a credit card, if they could pay half, and you could figure out how to get a job by the end of the month and pay it, then that's what I'm looking for, progression. Because a crime is if you have the ability to pay and you're refusing. So if you're on hard times, you got to get 2 jobs with Amazon or Uber, or do whatever you need to do, but you need to get the income started so I don't have to issue the warrant. Let's check the status of your license. Ms. Carson, do we know if his license is still in place?
It's been suspended.
Okay, so Mr. Haygood, your license is suspended because you failed to pay child support for 6 months. So the way to get your license reinstated is one of 2 ways. One, you can start a new job that you get an actual paycheck. And as soon as you start that new job, you give it, when you get hired or approved, you send it to the child support agent, and then they'll say new job, they'll prepare to take the money out of your paycheck, and they'll reinstate your license in most cases. Okay. That's the quickest way. If you can get on the phone with your employer today, say, look, I need to get any kind of job. Please put me back on payroll. Then you can send that information and they can send you a confirmation letter. You can send it to child support and they would likely reinstate your license because they can do an income deduction order. But the income deduction order takes a while. And until you see the money coming out of your paycheck, you have to pay it directly to child support. Do you understand that?
Yes. Pay through the child support portal.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. All right. So I'm going to mute you for a moment. And Miss Phillips, do you have any questions about anything going on? I already know you need the money, and I know this is hard for you. You've been patient waiting, it looks like, for him. But my goal as a judge is to move forward and make sure that we get him to the point where he's providing the support. But I don't want to leave the hearing without you addressing the court if you need to.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing today, Judge?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you can say it's been some months now since he have made a payment, just like you said, and the same thing that's going on with him, as far as he's saying that he's having a hard time paying his child support, the same thing is going on with me as well. Just like he said that his wife, that him and his wife is about to have another baby. I just had twin girls. My job, who I was with for 5 years, had fired me because I had postpartum. So it's been kind of hard for me trying to find a job as well. Wow. Same thing that he's saying. Mm-hmm. So it just seemed like it's always a problem with him, Mr. Haygood, as far as him paying his child support. Because a family friend of mine had told me that he's on Facebook posting his company, his job over there. So when I had called child support has been no help at all, none at all. Child support is always telling me, well, you know, Miss Phillips, since he had his own company, it's gonna be hard, just for him just to make a payment or whatever.
No, that's not the issue. What they're saying is they can't take it out of his paycheck. So listen, I understand what you're saying. I need to move forward. Okay, we're going to try to move forward. If he doesn't step up and can't do that, now, sir, you just heard her say she has newborns or is going to have newborns, and you have a newborn, and you know it's there. So you need to provide the financial support to your daughter, and we'll start over and see if we can move forward in a positive direction. So we'll see what happens. It's just not like, oh, I'm going to go issue a warrant and you go to jail. It's not going to help either one of you, because my goal as a judge is to get Mr. Haygood back. He's having hard times. You're having hard times. Unfortunately, I can't. All I can do is try to move forward and have Mr. Haygood step up. And Mr. Haygood, after giving you, some time if you fail to do it, but it sounds like you have a plan, and I'm going to trust that you're going to really move forward, because now you can't even drive your vehicle because you'll get stopped. They have scanners on all the officers' cars, and they'll stop you. You can pound your car. Oh, you don't have a car. Well, you may have a car, but you don't have your work truck. So things will go down quicker. But what I need you to do today is get with your employer, try to get a job, find a friend or someone that can, give you $150 to put on their credit card, and you can pay them back. And then you can pay another $150 before the end of the month when you get started. But you've got to do something quickly. Without your car, you can't even do Uber or Lyft or go in the grocery stores and pick groceries for somebody. You got to be creative. You can't just do what you want to do. You got to step up and really push through to get some income coming in as soon as possible. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we're going to reset the case a month out to see how things are going, to see if you've been able to get any payments in, to see if the job outlook is promising. And so that will be on the 27th of October. And we'll see. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I could do a court that date. Hold on one second. Give me 1 moment. No, it's fine. We could go ahead and go. October 27th is the reset date. You guys will receive the notice, and we'll see you on the 27th. This is the first step in moving forward to try to get, both of you in a financially difficult position. I'm sorry you guys are going through that, but that is in and of itself is not a way to not issue a warrant, Mr. Haygood. So we'll see you guys in October, but by then I need to see payments have been posted, and I will need an update on what you're doing with regard to employment. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Can I just say this too? Mr. Haygood, it's not to mean anything. There's no hard feelings.
Actually,
Against
Miss
him about
Phillips,
what's going on. Just
I
the
don't-
only thing what I just want him to do is just help me. Just take care of Kennedy. That's the only thing.
yeah,
There's
and
no
he's saying,
hard feelings.
I
yeah, you
appreciate
guys
that.
aren't, hold on, you guys aren't supposed to talk to each other in court, your parents. So you should be able to talk to each other out of court, okay? But at least it's good information.
Mhm.
You know, it seems like you guys are both very kind people and want to co-parent, and that's understandable. And sometimes moms need help just watching the child. You know, I know you guys have a lot of dynamics with him having multiple children, but thank you for that, Miss Phillips. And let's just hope as we move forward and he steps up that things will get better for you as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you guys in October. You're
All
both
right. Thank you.
all right,
Bye-bye.
Mr. Haygood. I'm expecting you to step up.
I will.
All right. So we are back
right,
with the two of you, Mr. Jones. You and Miss Butler have a 16-year-old. I believe it was a son or a daughter. Hold on a second. Okay, your son. Okay. All right. So Asante is 16 and dad was under an order to pay $299 plus a repayment toward your arrearage of $60 a month. In the beginning, getting back, I focus on just getting on track again. In this case, April 10th, you were working and you paid out of an income deduction order. It was coming out of your paycheck. And then after May 22nd, nothing. So, okay, Mr. Jones, unmute and tell me what's going on, because now it's been 4 months and you haven't made any payments. That's definitely a basis for me issuing a warrant. So you're going to have to move quickly to get things turned around. So what's going on, Mr. Jones? Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Your Honor? Can you hear me?
Yes, well, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I got laid off and I started back work sometime in May of this year, and just trying to get medical bills paid. I suffer from a real bad case of acid reflux. But anyway, be that as it may, I fell behind on everything. I did make one payment not too long ago, and I made another one yesterday evening of $300. So,
Okay. All
I'm
right.
getting back on track now. I'm
Okay.
trying to, I'm doing the best I can,
Do you have, I mean, even if you were working since May, you could have made 150, 200, something so that you didn't have to be before the court, because you knew that this could come too, because mom hadn't received any June, July, August, and now September, but you paid in September. But let me just see here. The goal is, so are you working at a job where we could just take it out of your paycheck?
Yes, that problem right there was they had the wrong address where they had to send a deduction letter. They went to the wrong department, but I did give them the right address on yesterday when I spoke with them yesterday afternoon. So they have the right address now. So they send the deduction letter to the payroll department. But until then, I will be sending money every week, every Friday when I get paid.
Okay.
Until that start coming out, and when that start coming out, I still will send some extra money. Either.
So you've been with me before, because you know that's exactly what I would say. So it's $75 a week.
Yes.
So I would pay $80 to cover the arrearage if you can. You pay $80 a week and you're back on track until the income deduction order comes out. But let's see what payments you've made for the month of September. Ms. Carson, are you showing any payments yet?
I don't have anything different than what is reported here. The 522 is the last one. I looked to see if there was anything new, but it's too soon if he paid it yesterday. But I do see where it confirms what he was saying, that he gave a new address and they've sent out a new FIW.
Okay, good. So Ms. Butler, that means that they're going to start taking the money directly out of his paycheck like before. But the whole thing is, Mr. Jones, you can't have those gaps. You can't go months without anything. You've got to pay something to show, and you can just pay it weekly. If you look at, okay, well, I'm going to go out to eat this week. Now, I understand it could be hard. I mean, my son's in the industry. He's a grown man. Thank goodness he doesn't have any child support or children. But, just the amount of money he has to pay for gas. He's an apprentice, is driving back and forth, and all that stuff adds up. And I get it. I get life happens, but you got to pay. You got to pay for the support.
Pay something. Yes, ma'am.
He's 16 years old. And I mean, he mom needs to take care of that money to raise him because it's, they're expensive at 16. They're grown, probably have big feet, needs
Yes,
tennis
ma'am.
shoes. And
Yes,
you can't go buy him fancy stuff that he may want. The money goes to mom and mom decides what she needs to provide for him. So this can't happen again. Okay. He's almost 18.
Okay.
And if you have to get another part-time job, I want to make sure your license is not suspended. So let's start with that. Well, because sometimes your license is suspended because it's been so many months. If so, because you have a new job, you need to go right to the child support agent like today and tell them you have a new job, and they'll reinstate your license because they can do an income deduction order. And you've already submitted the paperwork, so hopefully they didn't. So you're in the right direction. Sometimes moms filing these cases make my dad step up, but you got to step up and stay up. You can't fall down again. And if you ever get short, I know this sounds horrible too, but you can use a credit card just to make a payment, and so that you're not behind, you could pay with a credit card just so you're consistent and don't risk having a warrant issued for your arrest. Okay. Give me one moment.
It is okay. They did an override on 7/5/23.
Okay. All right, good. So your driver's license is not suspended. So continue.
I'm sorry.
much-
I just wanted to say one. I just wanted to tell you something. That's all.
Okay, wait, tell me how much you recently paid
I just paid $300 yesterday.
yesterday. Do you have a way of showing me that you're on your phone, so you can't
I'm on my
show it.
phone, so I can't. I mean, I took a snapshot of it and everything. I did it through the app.
Okay.
So
All right,
I mean,
yeah.
I took a snapshot of it. So I mean, I don't know. It hadn't posted yet, I don't guess.
Okay. Well, at least you made an effort to make a payment. I just need to track and make sure that you're consistent. Make sure you make your weekly payments now. $75 to $80 a week is what you need to pay. And then
75.
75 to 80. It's more 80 because you
Okay.
have an period. I would do $80 a week. And that way mom's getting her support every week, and she can use and she can depend on that money to provide for your son. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It will be there. I promise you, it will be there.
Okay. What else did you need to say?
Well, no, I was just going to say I work in South Carolina, Aiken, South Carolina. So I mean,
Okay.
I'm never in Atlanta. I mean, I just stay down here, pretty much. Sometimes I come home, sometimes I don't.
Okay. So you
Sometimes
still
I
have
to turn around. I come home Friday evening, get home by 10:30. Be
Okay.
home Saturday and have to pull right back out Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, but your home is still here, because if not, we're going to have to go through a different process. But let's just get you back on track, okay? And then we don't have to tell mom to go through a different route if you're out of state, because you say you still have a home here too. So I'm looking. So your next paycheck, you said you paid $300 yesterday, so that'll cover you for the month of September.
Okay.
So you have to start making those weekly payments the first week of October.
Okay. Yes,
But
ma'am.
I'm gonna need you to send. Do you know how to send an email on the snapshot? How to send an email on your phone?
Yes, I know how to do it.
Okay, could you send an email? Ms. Carson, could you give him your email? Let me let you guys go into a breakout room. Ms. Butler, hold on one second for me. I'm trying to make sure that payment came in, okay? Put them in a breakout room, please, Ms. Carson and Mr. Jones. And let her give him his email to confirm that payment. And if so, I'll excuse you from court today and I won't issue the warrant. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Butler will be with you in just a moment. Okay. Ms. Carson, were you able to confirm?
It's still coming. Oh, here it is right here. I knew it was going to take some time. It's always slower on the state system, but he got my email and then he emailed back to me. And yes, he paid $309.04 yesterday. And
Okay.
Case number 54. Yep.
Okay.
We're all
All
good.
right, Mr. Jones, we've confirmed the
Okay.
payment. Ms. Butler has a question for Attorney Carson. So go ahead, Ms. Butler.
Yes, Attorney Carson, I filed for a modification when my son was 10 years old back in 2017. That was October 17th, 2017. I received a letter with a judge signed off on it for his increase to be $563 a month. I haven't heard anything back from that, and I'm trying to see, what's the issue. My son was 10 then, he's now 16.
I wish I had a good answer. This is a Fulton case. I I can write an email to the attorney who takes care of the Fulton office, but I don't have any information on that. I'm sorry, but I can ask them to go and research it.
It
and
was
find out
filed.
what happened.
So Ms. Butler, your case started in Fulton, so you need to call the child support agency in Fulton County and ask them, we're DeKalb. So even though you can file this action, the root modification was done in Fulton. So if you could follow up with Fulton County and ask them why it hasn't been increased, because if he gets an income deduction order, then it'll increase the amount that comes out of your paycheck.
Yes, ma'am. I've been to the Fulton County Courthouse several times, the defects office several times. Angie Hill was the last person I talked to, and she spoke and said that they were going through some changes in their command there, and she don't know what happened to the case, but I had my paperwork to show her where the judge signed off. She sent him a copy and she sent me a copy, and I just don't know where to go from here because everybody over there claims that they don't see anything, but I have the paperwork to show where the judge already signed off on this, and they want us to start all over again. This has been since 2017. My son was 10 then. He's 16 now.
Ms.
Okay,
Butler,
well-
let me send you an email. Let me make sure I have your email address. Okay, it looks like I do. I'm going to send you an email, and if you would send me back a copy of what you said they sent you with the judge signing off,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll see if I can do some investigating. But like I said, I'm kind of limited because I'm not in Fulton. I don't have any authority there. But send me that, and that might help to get things moving.
Okay, and the person that I spoke with was Angie Hill. That is her name, the agent that assisted me.
Okay, I will look for that too. Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank
Mr. Jones, once we get that order input, then they're going to be taking more out of your paycheck because it looks like child support was increased. And so once mom gets that information and DCSS does their part, then the income deduction order will probably increase. Well, not probably, it will. So it's going to be more support, okay? So that's going to happen down the line. You can unmute because I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I got that paperwork a while back. Sheriff brought it to my house, and I hadn't heard anything else from it either. I mean, I'm not trying not to pay her. I mean,
Okay. Well, then you might want to step up your payments to get used to it to at least $100 a week. So then that'll get you more in line and it won't be such a shock when you get the new order coming out. So if you can focus on trying to pay more like $100 a week starting in October, then that'll keep you in line with what you're supposed to be paying when the new order kicks in. Okay.
okay, that's fine. That's no problem. I mean, I don't want no problem. I mean, I want to pay my child support and do right.
All right. Okay. So I've reset the case to November. So, all right, so in this case, I don't have a child support order. I'm not sure how the case got on the calendar, but maybe because they've been trying to serve dad. I'm not sure, Miss Allen. You don't have a child support order, so I'm not sure why the judge put you on the calendar. Tell me what's going on because you guys need to get DNA. It's required by law. If DNA hasn't been done, DNA has to happen. Then there has to be a child support order from Superior Court. So you can go ahead and share with me what's going on, Miss Allen.
Basically, I filed with DCSS back in 2020 for child support. After my daughter was born, I want to say about 7 months after, NCP has not been involved at all. I can only account maybe about 5 times he's actually helped out. My daughter is now 3. Since then, DCSS has stated that they cannot serve NCP and said that the reason being is because they just couldn't find him. However, you guys were able to find him, so I'm unsure what was happening there. But every time I got it escalated, I went to DCSS and spoke to a supervisor there. They said that they were going to forward or escalate the case so that it can go to court. Your Honor, if I may speak besides that, just a little bit of information. I don't know if you received my my information email.
I can't look at any evidence outside of court. It would make me biased as a judge. So we're not allowed to have ex parte communication, but you could share with me. Let's just try to figure out what's going on here first, but I don't know what you're trying to show me. What is it that you sent? Because I'm not allowed to look at evidence received.
I'm sorry, I can't remember when we did this. Me and the NCP did a form submitted for paternity, him accepting paternity or of
Yeah,
my
that
daughter.
doesn't work. That doesn't work. We have to go
Okay.
ahead and start. We're gonna have to start things all over. But Mr. Marshall, she's almost 3. So, you know this is probably your daughter if you guys were in a relationship, and you're gonna have to step up. There are a number of things that could be done if you fail to comply. So the first thing is that I'll have to find out if DCCSS has opened a case. If so, you need to go to what county do you live in? Unmute, Mr. Marshall. I know there's a little button that you can connect to. Generally, when you go to the little microphone. So, Ms. Carson, while he's waiting, what are you showing the status of the case is?
They dismissed it. They weren't able to serve him. I just sent a chat to your clerk asking for the address that was provided to the court, because obviously he got that notice. So I wanted to compare it to the address we have.
Okay, it's Monroe Place. Is that what I won't give the whole address, but is that
They had that one, but they changed it to another one.
All right. So, Mr. Marshall, I know you can't hear me yet, but you may need to log out and log back in. But what's going to happen is, if we can't get you served, your daughter's 3 now, we need to make sure she's your child. And if we can't get you to either go in and accept the service or get this going, then at that point, I could just find that you're refusing to comply, and I could just issue a warrant. And I don't want to go there, so I need you to step up and comply, which means you need to accept service and go do the DNA voluntarily before we come back to court and get everything set up. Mom, no, nothing personal on your, it's my child. The law requires that we have DNA. So it's not him. It has to be done, because there's been cases where moms have said he's the father and he's not. And so it's just the law. It's nothing personal, and then, and Mr. Marshall, if this is your daughter, and just because you guys don't get along or whatever, you're not providing any support, that definitely doesn't bode well with me as a judge. So give me 1 second and see if you could unmute yet. If so, you need to log out and log back in. No, you're on a computer? Oh, you have 2 phones. Okay. Okay. You keep talking like we can hear you. We can't hear anything you're saying. So log out and log back in. And when you log back in, go to audio. And I think it says audio connect with computer. Ms. Starks, do you have that form that Kiana uses when we're in court? So log out, sir, and log back in, or log in on your other phone and see if we can connect that way.
I had to go in my settings and unmute it.
Okay. All right. So what's been going on, Mr. Marshall, with regard to, they've been trying to serve you, I guess. And so we need your formal address to be able to serve you, or you can just go and accept the acknowledged service. They have to refile it now, but our first step is to get the DNA to confirm that you are the biological father of the minor child. And once that's done, then you and mom could work out a child support payment with DCS instead of a judge getting involved, and they would sign the order depending on your income. It's not going to be what you want, but you guys can consent to an amount. That's the quickest way to get a child support order. So, Ms. Carson, I'll let you take over and tell me what the next step needs to be in this case.
I sent him a chat asking to confirm the address, because we have 2 different addresses and I need to know so that they can refile and get this going.
Mr. Marshall, did you receive the chat?
I don't know. Let me check. No, I guess because I closed out the first meeting, the first check.
I will send it again.
All right. Mr. Marshall, we're going to put you in a breakout room because so let's explain. The way it happens is mom's child, your daughter's almost 3. If it's your daughter, there's been absolutely, whatever child support you voluntarily have paid. The law requires that you provide support if this is your child. So we've got to do DNA first, confirm, even though you've already admitted. So if you believe it's your child, you should be sending monthly child support, and you should be sending it directly to mom until we have a child support case open. But it looks like we do. I don't think there's an order to accept payment.
There is not. They opened up the case. They filed a petition when they were unable to serve him. They dismissed it, but the case is open. They'll refile and attempt service again. So if we could have a confirmed address, that would expedite matters.
Okay, so there's two things, Mr. Marshall. One, the marshals are going to be coming to your house trying to find you or your place of employment to serve you, or you could just accept service and face this and deal with it and establish the child support order. It doesn't make any sense. If it were any relative of mine, I would say, why would you want to be embarrassed with the marshals knocking on your door? Just go to the child support office. You're in DeKalb, you said?
No, I live in Buckhead, Atlanta, Buckhead.
Okay, that's Fulton. It's right around the corner from DeKalb. So you could just go accept service from the child support office or at Fulton. I'm not sure where does the case get open if he lives in Fulton?
Fulton. It'll be in Fulton.
Okay, so your case will open in your county. Go ahead.
The judge, this is my first time ever hearing anything about this. Like, she have never told me anything about this, nothing.
Well, wait a minute. She sent me paperwork saying that you acknowledged that this was your child.
So she probably probably tricked me into signing something because she had me sign something, but I'm thinking it's for the baby. She tricked me into signing it, not telling me what it was. So whatever she did.
Hold on, Miss Allen, put your hand down. I know you want to speak. I'm going to hear from him first.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I did. They said it's my child, Judge.
Okay, well, we need DNA to confirm it's your child. If it's your child, then why aren't you paying voluntary child support or giving mom a monetary amount every month?
In order to pay her support, I help with my child when I can. She gets mad because I'm not with her. That's all.
Okay, let's not go there. I said from the beginning, I'm not going to get into people maligning the other person's character. Don't say anything like that again. You have a child. You're saying it's your child. So you need to provide support for the daughter, but we need to get DNA to get it started. So hold on. Let's see if I can. I think, let's see.
Crazy.
Stop. You chose to get her pregnant. So let's not go there. Okay. It takes two. So men have to be just as responsible as the women when it comes to having children. It takes two to create a child. So now there's a child created and we've got to go through and figure out how to get the support and get paternity established and all that good stuff. But give me a moment, please. Okay. You just gave it to everybody. You didn't have to do that. We just needed it to go to Miss Carson. You don't care. Okay.
Is there an apartment number involved with that?
You can unmute.
It's 33109.
All right. Looks like I do have a confirmed address.
Okay. So how long is it going to take to reopen the case, Ms. Carson?
I'm going to send an email over to the attorney that's over there and see if she can get things that happening right away, because if he goes in and they don't have it, they may end up telling him they have to file it and then come back. And so see if I can expedite matters.
Okay. So where are you working, Mr. Martin? You don't tell me the location, but you're a security guard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're living in Buckhead?
Yes, ma'am.
That means you could afford to pay child support, right?
I have 4 other kids.
Okay, how many child support orders do you have?
None.
Okay. Well, if maybe you want to start paying mom voluntarily too, so you guys could get on the same sheet of music. So, you know, I tell dads, you guys choose to have these children. As a judge, you're responsible for providing every support for everybody that you choose to impregnate. So it's your choice as a father to be a father, but with that comes to you providing support. So this child is 2, almost, will just turn 3. What are the ages of your other children before this child?
17, 14, 10, and 7.
Okay. All right. And Miss Allen, did you know he had 4 children before you decided to have a 5th child with him? Because I look at both parties being accountable.
No, ma'am. He lied to me and told me that he was single when we met.
Okay. All right. So both of you mute for a moment and let's see if we get this case started. Okay. So Dad, we have the information. Miss Allen, we need to do the DNA. Mr. Marshall, I'm going to reset the case just to check a status to see if you went ahead and handled the DNA and everything. and we'll just get the case started. It is what it is. I mean, it's here. You have another child to support. And, you know, I used to laugh in court and tell dad, you know, they have a little thing that you could buy, you know, inside any store, comes in a package with about 5 of them in there. And if you don't want any more children, then you have to use protection. You know, it's just a choice. And so it's a consequence. There's no need to be upset about it. You have a little girl, another child in this world, and you've got to figure out how to support the child if we come back that you're the father. Okay. So in the meantime, since you're saying, let me unmute you, since you're saying that you know it's your child, do you have the ability to just voluntarily send some support to mom until we get the court order started, since you're saying it is your child?
So how can I say this without saying something crazy? Because
you're streaming. Hold on. You just asked me, how do I say something without saying something crazy? You're in court. We're streaming live on YouTube. I don't want you to make any negative statements. And you are a man that should know how to say something. Say, if you want to say, I'm not sure if she's my daughter, I'd like to wait to the DNA, then you can say that in a respectful way. If you say, I'd rather take the DNA and I'd rather start supporting her once I know she's my child, then you can say that. But other than that, there's really nothing more that you can say.
All right. Well, I went to DNA.
Okay. All right. Miss Allen, stop, please. Okay, both of y'all, just let's just move this case forward. I know you're frustrated, Miss Allen. It's been a while, so that's why it was put on the calendar. All right. So we have your information, Mr. Marshall. So we're going to reopen your case, Miss Allen. We're going to get DNA established, and let's see. Let me just check something real quick, please. All right, all the stuff that you sent, where did Miss Allen go? I can't look at all this. This has nothing to do with child support. She just sent a bunch of stuff. All right. So clearly, sir, when you guys were in a relationship, she knows you have money. So she sent all kinds of texts showing that you have money, but I can't look at any of that. I'm not going to, because anyway. All right. So I'm not sure where she went. So the case is going to get started. Ms. Carson Wright will reopen the case. Mr. Marshall, you will be contacted. I guess once they reopen, if I were you, I would reach out to DCSS in your county in Fulton in the next 10 days or so to see if they started the petition, so you could voluntarily go in and take your DNA. I would go as soon as possible, so they're not knocking at your door. Because if you're a security guard, I'm sure you don't want to be embarrassed if they're coming to your job or wherever they're going to go to try to find you to serve you with child support papers. So you can just go in voluntarily and say, I'll submit to the DNA, then they'll get mom's DNA. Let me wait for her to come back in court. Can he just go to DCSS?
Should be able to. I've already sent the email to the attorney over there asking her to get refiled. I can't speak for Fulton, and I'm afraid that they would turn him away and say they have to file a petition again. Here we have same-day service. They should have the same thing, but I just don't know how they work.
Judge, I tried to call her, but voicemail picked up.
All right. Well, I can't reset the case. The case is going to, sir, you need to go and establish your DNA and get the child support order. If you fail to pay the child support within 30 days of receiving the order, then a warrant can be issued for her arrest. And when she comes back, I'll let her know that as well. Are we clear, Mr. Marshall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would take the matters into your own hands, so you're not, with the industry that you're in, so you're not embarrassed, because they can come to your place of employment because she knows where you work. So she's coming back on now. 1 month. Okay. So, Miss Ellen, you can start your video when you can. I was just sharing with Mr. Marshall that it's incumbent upon him to go and establish the child support as soon as possible. So Miss Carson said it's going to take a while, and that you may want to follow through, Miss Allen, because you may have to refile a petition because they couldn't serve him. And there's like, after a certain time period, the father can't be served, and they have to dismiss the case by operation of law. So you may have to go ahead and refile like immediately. Your case is open, but you may have to file a new petition. I'm not sure, but because it's Fulton, it's not DeKalb, it's where he lives. And then he can go submit to the DNA, you submit to the DNA, then we get the case moving forward. All that information that you sent me, I can't look at that. That's stuff that's not acceptable in a court of law. It could be done in the civil case, but for me as a judge, I can't look at that. So I tried to look at a couple, but there's just way too many attachments, so you can't send that to the court. But we need to get your case started. I can't issue a warrant right now. I told him that they can serve him, or he can make it easier and accept the service on himself. So it's going to take a few weeks to get all this done. I know that's annoying for you, but you'll have to wait to get the DNA. That should happen fairly quickly. But Ms. Carson, do you recommend that she contacts DCSS and see if she needs to refile or what?
Well, they should refile. I can't swear that anybody will pay attention to my emails, but she can start calling and tell them we have updated information now and they need to refile, and that he's supposed to come in. We need a petition filed right away. Can't hurt.
Okay. All right. You got that? Go ahead, Ms. Allen.
That was my next question, because they haven't sent me any correspondence. So does it say how recent it was that they canceled it?
Looks like it was pretty recent. I can tell you in a minute.
Because I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but in my case app, it doesn't say any activity, no updates, nothing.
Yeah, a lot of moms say that. So sorry about that, but I don't have access to that information.
Looks like they dismissed at 7:21. Service was unsuccessful via the sheriff's department. And so they dismissed it on 7/21. Although it doesn't say it's dismissed, it says they generated a voluntary dismissal. They didn't actually dismiss it.
Okay, good. So the case is still open, Ms. Allen. You could just tell them, you can touch base with them and tell them that they need to establish DNA. Mr. Marshall, you should call them. Do you know how to reach the child support office, Mr. Allen? Mr. Marshall, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, could you call them if you can, if you're off today, give them a call and tell them you need to establish DNA for your minor child, and then go take the DNA right away. Miss Allen will take it when it comes back, confirm that she's your daughter. Then at that point, the case moves to the next level of getting the child support. But this is a criminal proceeding and I can't go forward with it until a child support case has been established. I'm going to reset it out. I was going to dismiss it, but I'm going to reset it out to make sure dad complied. There is a way I can backdoor and find that you're refusing to support the child. I don't want to do that. I want to do this the right way, Mr. Marshall, but we'll reset the case to November 10th. That should be enough time to get everything established. And it's just going to be for review and update. If you could put those notes in for me, please, Miss Starks, take out that information. Hopefully I didn't dismiss it, but I'm resetting it just for an updated status on the DNA. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Mr. Marshall, do you have any questions before we conclude our hearing?
No.
Okay. Ms. Allen, do you have any questions? I know you're waiting for Ms. Carson to find out about the status.
No, thank you. I have no questions.
Okay. All right.
It looks like it's still open.
Okay, good.
So yeah, if it's still open and they haven't dismissed it yet, he could go right down and start right now.
Okay, so sir, Mr. Marshall, I'm not sure what your work schedule is, but today is the 8th. Let me get to September here. All right, so I'm going to give you 72 hours, which is until Tuesday, to contact DCSS about the setting up for child support, and then you have to comply with the dates that they give you to set up for the DNA. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so by the 15th, there should be some type of established service that you voluntarily accept service and you start the DNA process, because there's not going to be a child support order until the DNA is started. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So same with you, Miss Allen. You can call, let them know that you need to, you guys are in abandonment court and you need to establish DNA, and he's going to voluntarily go in there and do it. And then they'll need you to do the same. So you can follow up with them. Okay. And we'll see you guys. We're going to see you guys on November 10th so I can get an update of what's going on. So November 10th, and that will be in the morning. There's going to be a lot of cases then, because that's the only calendar I'll have for the month of November because of the holidays, but we'll see you guys at that time. And no text, and no texting each other, anything, just let child support go forward. Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you guys. You guys. All right. So Mr. Rentz, I need you to have a seat. Thank you. I knew you were about to do that, and turn your camera because you're sideways. You have a child support order for 2 children at $348 a month plus a $70 repay. It looks like you were doing well. You paid 400 in May, 500 in June. I mean, and then you may have missed July, you paid August, so you're doing pretty well. You don't even have a higher rearage, so we just need to get you back on track. I don't know what's going on. So you want to update me, please?
Yeah.
Can you turn your phone, Mr. Rentz, because you're like sideways. So you're still sideways. There you go. Now okay. So you were doing fine and you don't have an extreme arrearage, so I'm sure your license is not suspended, but we just need to get you back on track. So what's going on, sir?
Yeah, no, my business has just been so slow. It's been hard. This has been like the worst year for me ever. Like,
Well,
I've been trying to
so what, you're self-employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there's so many dads that are self-employed, and while I appreciate that effort, because when it's great, but when it's not, it's not. You got to get some type of part-time Uber, Amazon, something is what I always suggest to pay your child support while you're trying to get your business back on track, because the law says you got to support your child even if your business isn't going well. I don't mean to sound mean or insensitive, but that's when most dads are like, okay, let me go get a part-time Uber, Amazon, whatever I need to do to just pay this child support so I don't get arrested. Or you can put it on a credit card until things are better, but you've been doing well. You just missed this month. You have the whole month to make a payment for this month, because I'm not even sure how. Oh, no July payment was received. So we move forward, not backwards, and maybe think about breaking it down to weekly instead of trying to pay the whole thing at one time. What kind of business are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I have a party rental company. I do the bouncy houses and stuff like that for kids' birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah. With COVID, that's tough. And then it's bad. I said with COVID, that's tough.
Yeah, and then the kids started going back to school and everything. So it kind of slowed down off of that from the summer, but it's starting to pick back up a little bit. But I just got to get another side hustle, another job, or Ubering or something. I just got to do something else. I actually been looking, but I've actually been trying to get my business back up because my business make money. So like,
well, like I mean, like I said,
I'm behind on my bills. Like, oh, go ahead.
You missed 1 month, so like maybe if you try to break it into weekly payments instead of trying to save the whole amount and paying it, that stops a lot of dads from being able to provide their support. So in your case, you'd be paying about $105 a week or $210 every 2 weeks, and then you'd be complying. You don't have to wait for all the money. And if you need to pay half of it on a credit card, you could do that as well. I know it's easy for me to say just charge it, but you may have to until you get back on track. Or like I tell all the other dads, while you're doing your thing, having an independent business, which is awesome, you may need to just get that part-time job to help pay the child support. How many child support orders do you have?
I have twins, 2 boys. So I got that one, and then that's it.
Okay, so you just have one child support order?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
2 for the twins. They're 2. Like,
well, I mean, there's 2, but that's this case, right?
Yeah.
Mason and Bryson. So that's your only child support order. Yeah. And
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not a lot.
He's 17. I have custody of him. So his mom, she pays me $97 a month in child support because she has 5 other kids. So,
okay. Yeah, all that's probably why your child support is more about $348, because usually it'd be a lot higher for twins. And they're what, 5, Mom? They're gonna be 5? 6. Okay, so you're not doing bad, Mr. Rentz. I'm not here to say you're doing bad. You just missed a month, and then now you got to get on September. So you have September to pay your child support. We're not going back, because if you don't pay, then I have to issue a warrant. The best thing is if you get a part-time job and we could just take that $400 a month out of your paycheck, directly. That's not that many hours a week that you'd have to work. And then, at that point, a warrant can't be issued because it's coming directly out of your paycheck. But that takes a while for all that to happen. So, COVID's about to come back around. It's going to get cold. The bounty houses, I know, are maybe great and seasonal, but you got to keep something on the side to at least pay for your child support for your twins. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you got to start. It's just the beginning of September, but you have until the end of September to pay. I'm looking at the primary amount of $348. that you have to figure out. You could break it into whatever payments. You could do a weekly payment. It just has to be consistent. It looks like it's about, if I just start you back at getting back on track, even though you're paying the repay, you're supposed to be paying like $100 a week. And that takes care of the recent payment and the payment for the repayment toward the arrearage of $1,400, because you don't want your license to get suspended, because then you can't run
Right.
your business. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we're going to reset the case. Miss Clouden, is there anything else? All I can do is tell them I have to issue a warrant, sir, if I don't receive the support. The goal is $100 a week, and then we'll reset the case to review and see how things are going and see if you're getting back on track, or if you're deciding to get you a part-time job, you know, to just take care of your child support. That's probably an excellent idea as well. Okay.
Okay.
I do have a temp. Are you in DeKalb?
Yeah.
I have a temporary hire, but a company that hires, and they notify me that they're looking for employees that desperately need people, and they pay pretty well. Do you want that information?
Yes. That's fine. Oh.
Okay, let's see what okay. And I think they're like always hiring. And since you already have your business, then you can just say, these are the only times that I'm available. I'm sure your weekends will be you're mostly weekends during the fall. So let me get that information. Give me 1 second. Okay, hold on. All right, Ms. Clouden, do you have any questions? Other than I know you need the money, but that's why we're here. Do you have any questions about what's going to happen?
No, no question.
Okay, so do you guys not communicate so that he could tell you what's going on or anything? Do you guys text? And you have twins, young babies.
We haven't heard from Mr. Reds. I mean, he's not consistent. My phone line is always open. He spoke with them on his birthday, last week or something, but before that, we hadn't heard from him in about a month or two. It has nothing to do with me. My phone is, nobody stops him from talking or seeing his children. It's his choice.
Okay, Mr. Rent, you have to step up on that end, okay? As a judge, when I'm looking at the dads, I'm looking at the holistic approach that you're not only providing the support, but you're actually involved in it. If you're there with your sons and you're helping to provide for them as well, then it encourages me not to issue a warrant, even if you're falling short a little bit. So all that's important, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
No,
we're gonna,
actually, I mean, I was going to get them. I was keeping them for like weekends and stuff like that. It's just that stuff got so hard for me, like the past month around
well, then
July.
just tell her
Right.
that. Just tell her that. It's just a communication. We're on TV. Stop biting your nails. We're streaming live on YouTube. Just tell her it's just a communication. Stop shutting down, just communicate, say, hey, I'm free Wednesday or Thursday. What if she has to work and she needs help with the kids? You could just pick the boys up and let her go do some mom things that she needs to do. Okay. It's about being a part in a different way. As much as the money's important, if mom has to work to support the twins, oh my goodness, then that's a lot of money that she has to support. And sometimes it's just getting help, taking some time to take them so she could do what she needs to do, because you get all your free time to yourself, except you have your 17-year-old, but she's got 2 little children that she has to constantly give all of her energy to. You got it? So you just step up. Don't start going into a little hole where you feel like, well, I'm not paying and I feel, kind of down about my business. Just try to keep yourself up. Just say, okay, I got this. Let me check on my sons. Let me go pick them up, this afternoon and spend some time with them. And you have to take the initiative to be, just more involved. It's not just about money. The money is important, but it's about also being in your children's lives, because it reduces the mother's stress levels if she knows that she can depend on you to pick the kids up from school or do stuff, since you have your own business, and that's what you need to do. That's it. And that'll make things much better for both of you for the next 12 years. Well, the rest of your life, but they're only 6. So you guys got a long way to go. All right. So we're going to reset the case October 27th for review. I'm going to see what's happening. What I've advised you to do is just to try to make, let me repeat, I'm going to put advised dad to make weekly payments of $100 per month, per week. I'm sorry, per week. We'll review for an update. And I'm going to put provided employment agency and encouraged dad to get a part-time job and participate in the children's lives. Here in May, Mr. Shingleton said that he had and then we came back in July, and father has a new job, an income deduction order was submitted, and then dad will pay from his next paycheck until the income deduction order takes effect. If no payments or warrant can be issued. So it looks like Mr. Royster, you did get a job, and we did have it coming directly out of your paycheck, but it looks like
Your Honor, Mr. Shingleton. The mom is Royster.
oh, sorry, Mr. Shingleton. So it looks like you do have a job, but just this last week or the past week for the 16th in August, everything stopped.
Yeah, it's been a little rough patch with me as far as like being able to get to work, because my kids, the kids that I actually live with, I got 3 that I stay with, they pretty much caught a virus, and I stayed home with them, and then I got sick for a week, and then the hurricane thing came with the weather, and then this week I was supposed to go, and Monday was Labor Day, and Tuesday I went in, but then we had like a half a day because of the weather. With me doing construction, I work outside, and then Wednesday and Thursday it rained, so we wasn't able to work. And I would have went to work this morning, but I told him I didn't know how today was gonna go with court, and so I went ahead and put them on standby to see how this went.
Well, wait a minute. Are you still employed with them?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the union, so it's like I just report and tell them what's going on. I don't get it's not like a point system.
Okay, so you guys have twins?
No, ma'am. I have.
No. Wait a minute.
I have 2.
So you guys had Zayden.
No. Like me and her do not talk like at all, really. Like we can't really communicate. I got 3 kids that I stay with. I have 5 kids in all. I have 3 kids that I stay with in where I'm at now.
So you live in?
I live in Millen.
Okay. So, but I'm saying that you have those children, and then you guys had Zayden, and then you guys somehow still hooked up, and then you ended up having Cruz.
Right. So to make it simpler, I got a daughter. She is 5 years old, and then I got 2 sons, and they are a month and 2 days apart, and that's my son that stay with me, Sage, and then Zayden, and then I got them both pregnant again at the same time, and Cruz.
Wait, 2 different women?
Her and I got them pregnant 2 times at the same time.
Okay. Did they know about each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. All right. Well, some things are out of this old, judges. I'm gonna consider myself old with this story because I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. But so it looks like you're working. The money's coming back. I'm not sure, when did the child support order start, Ms. Carson? Because he's not past due, not even a full month is what we're showing. But you need to add the second child, Ms. Royster.
He should be already on there.
Hold on, I'm muting you, Mr. Shingleton. Hold on 1 second.
I already added Cruz. I think it was last year, or was it earlier this year? So
Okay.
Yeah. This record shows $6,271.86 in arrears.
Oh, I was looking at it in a different way. Okay, yes, I was looking. My glasses were showing me 627. You're right. It is quite a bit past due, like almost 10 months. Okay. All right. So you are working. It's just the money didn't come out because of all these issues. I can't issue a warrant, Ms. Royster, because he is employed and he just needs to get back on track for you to start getting the money because it's coming directly out of his paycheck. All right. You both made decisions. You both made choices. And now the 2 children are here. So, sir, I just have to reset it to see if the child support is going to start coming back out of your paycheck sufficiently, because it looks like it's coming out at $160 a week, which if that's all the law allows, I can't issue a warrant because the federal government can only take out what the law says can be taken out of your income. So there's no basis for me to issue a warrant right now. We'll just have to reset the case and see how things are going. But she has the 2 kids and needs the support. So when you don't work, I guess your kids in your household don't receive support. So Mrs. Royster, did you know he had 3 kids already?
Yeah. No, I'm like he said, we had our kids together. So that's something that I knew and figured out.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't issue a warrant today because there's an income deduction.
That's fine. I just wanted to just make sure that it is you guys have his employer on file.
We do.
Is that correct? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we do. And the money's coming directly out of his paycheck. It's just the situation that just happened that week. But wait a minute. But we haven't received any payments. How many weeks is that since the 16th? Hold on, let me look at this.
It's almost a month.
Yeah, that's almost a month ago. So payment 16. So we didn't receive a payment the 23rd, the 30th, or the 6th of September. That's 3 weeks. Mr. Shingleton, so you swear under oath you're still working there? You can unmute.
Yes, ma'am. I just, like I said, I ain't been to work because of the stuff that's been going on. But like I said, it's the union. It ain't like, I'm not on the point system or nothing. I tell them what's going on. And when I show up, it ain't no.
Well, for 3, I mean, I understand if the kids had COVID and then something happened with you, but 3 weeks with no income, isn't that impacting your family that you're with and her kids?
It is.
All right. Well, let's just, get back on track. Okay. Go back, work as much as you can overtime, get the child support back consistent because it was 160 something a week. And then,
All right.
We'll check to see what's going on next month. I mean, that's the only thing I could do because I can't issue a warrant because there is a income deduction order. So let's get an update on the case. We'll check it out in 4 weeks and see how things are going. So that's going to be October 27th, Mr. Shingleton. By then, I'm just hoping that the child support is coming out in the full amount again. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
So I do have a question. So if this happens again, as far as him taking off for another 3 weeks in October, and he's only paid, he paid, but then he took another 3 weeks off, that's going to be okay the next time?
No, it's not. If there's a consistent pattern, but he's saying the kids had COVID, he was out of work, it rained. So I don't know, Mr. Shingleton, if you're able to get a part-time job or something that if that does fall through, but I mean, you got to support your children and her 2 children. So, if I find that you're intentionally taking time off, then yeah, I could eventually find that you can and you're not willing to do the work to support the kids. Okay. I don't want to make that finding. If you continue to pay, then we're good to go. But if I show that you're intentionally not working, then I could issue the warrant and you'd be on a probation until these 2 children are 18, which would be 16 years for the other one and almost 18 years for the second child. We lost him.
Crazy. I just have something. I mean, because it feels.
He's not here. Hold on a second. He's not here. One of the things I share with moms, when he wasn't providing consistent support for the first child, and then you chose to have a second child with him, it's kind of, there's the red flags to let you know that this is going to be a difficult transition in him providing support, especially because he has 3 other kids. So he's got 5 kids, and all I can do is try to enforce the order to the best of my ability. May have to go to civil court, but we'll see. Let's wait for him to come back in court because we lost his connection.
All right. I just want to include it's just been consistent as far as him on getting a job and saying that he works for the union and it being on and off. So this has been going on this is the 4th time we've been here. And I feel like he knows, yes. And I think he knows the pattern. He knows that he can pay a little bit here and then stop paying. And there's no way he's been 3 weeks without getting paid from not one job. I know him and I know his family.
Okay, I'm just trying
I agree with I know the dynamics of the situation, but I, you know what I'm saying? I know what I took myself through, but also he should be held accountable for,
No,
our
absolutely.
children as well. I've been taking and biting the bullet for a long, long time, a very
Okay,
long
let me
time.
put a note. Can you check for me to see how many abandonment warrants the moms had to file in the years for me real quickly, please? Ms. Starks. This isn't the dad that was in the chair with no shirt on last time, is it? No? Okay.
Twice on here,
What years?
2 times before.
What, you can't tell me the date?
Okay, this one was back in October of 22.
I think
Okay.
both of them were reset. So that makes 4.
And
I mean, you filed, you're saying you filed 4 independent child support?
No, okay, so I filed 2. The first
2.
one I closed, and then I think the second one we came back. The second one we came, you allowed him another time, so that made a 3rd time, and this would be the 4th time.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
coming
second
to
one was
court.
the recess.
Okay. All right, give me the dates, please, Miss Starks.
Do you need the reset dates or
No,
the dates that they were filed?
Just an original filing.
Okay. After the one in October of 22, I see one in March of 23.
Okay, and can you
22.
can you put in those case numbers for me real quick and tell me the outcome on the docket notes on October 22nd and then March 23, please?
Held on 12/2.
Mhm.
That one was dismissed because the payments were being made and deducted.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the one I closed.
Yeah, that was that first one.
Yeah.
Okay, and the one filed in March?
Okay. One for March, that's the one that we have been having the recess for. Started in March, came to court in May, on May 12th. Income deduction order to be set up for new employment. Had a reset for 7/28. On 7/28,
Okay,
they came
that's this.
back. That's this one.
That's this one. Okay, so you've only
Yep, so
filed
it's
twice.
22.
You've only
Yes.
filed, this is your second filing. Okay, so you know, if you dismiss the cases or take them off, that doesn't help because, you know, if you guys are getting along or whatever, it can't be based upon we're getting along now or we're not. It has to be based upon you need the consistent child support. So when you take the case off or say, I'm dismissing it, it doesn't help. So you need to just let us handle it to the best of he's coming back. Okay, so we need to let us go forward with the cases. Let me just share with Mr. All right, so Mr. Shingleton, we were just saying that I need you to make sure that you start providing support. Ms. Royster was saying there are times where she believes that you can make money and go to work, but I'm picking up that she's saying you're choosing not to go to work. So 3 weeks is a long time with no support when you have, you know, two young children. And I know you have a household. I guess you're married. I don't know, but at least you have someone helping you in your household, and she's doing it on her own. So I just need the consistency. It looks like I'm not sure how often you work. You generally work every day, or is it at your pleasure?
Nah, I mean, it ain't no problem with doing it. I just like if I just had to do what I had to do at the time, but I ain't like she don't know when I work, but we don't talk like at all. She don't know what I do, so she can't be saying like she know that or she's putting out that I can do this and that and the third. Like she don't know, but I would have been at work if, you know, I had to handle stuff with my kids and, you know, the weather. Like I do construction, so the weather does play a part in whether I do like I work or not. So it's not an issue.
All right. Well, we'll see October 27th. Hopefully you're back full and then the money's coming directly out of your paycheck. It already is. So And when the days with the kids, if there's family members or somebody that could watch them to work, I know this sounds, whatever, but you got to figure out how to make those payments. You can't go 2 to 3 weeks without a payment. Okay.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if you need to put it on a credit card for that week or that month or something to help you get back on track, that's fine. It just can't go with no payments for 2 and 3 weeks at a time. All right. Even though I know
ma'am.
life happens, but I've got to hold you. I've got to hold you to the law. That's it. All right. So we'll see you guys
Yes,
on
ma'am.
October 7th to see how things are going. And, I was sharing with Ms. Royster that, these cases can't be just when you guys are upset at each other. You need to be consistent on paying your child support, and then you guys need to figure out how to co-parent in whatever way you can. But that's out of my league for this is a criminal court to issue a warrant or not. So we'll see you guys October 27th. Have a good weekend. You guys are both excused from court.